you box good, you can do this, you got this over him, you're gonna have to tighten up this, you're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass, you'll do this to him. It's never like
yes man type.
You know what I mean?
When he has, with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time.
Terence Crawford talked about his first chat with Floyd Mayweather. After starting training for the Canelo bout, he said Floyd didn't just praise him. He shared specific advice. Mayweather admired Crawford's talent, but also warned him not to underestimate Canelo's ring wisdom. The conversation was serious, respectful, and focused on game planning.
That's a big boy. He's strong. You know, you box good, you can do this, you got this over him, you're gonna have to tighten up this, you're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass, you'll do this to him. It's never like
yes
that.
Man type.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, listen, you know, that's a dangerous fight, you know, but
that's the fight.
If it happened, you know, you can win, but you're gonna have to be on your A game.
Floyd Mayweather recently joined Crawford's training sessions and even got involved to help sharpen his form. Mayweather looked truly impressed by Crawford's drive and skills. He even called him the top fighter in the world today, pointing out his discipline and precision. Their training time wasn't just for show. It proved Mayweather truly believes Crawford has what it takes to beat someone as dangerous as Canelo. Their mutual respect showed, and every session had a serious edge that proved how much this fight means to both.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Crawford has long respected Mayweather's boxing mindset. Not just his skills in the ring, but also how he built his career and reputation. That respect has grown into a real connection between them. Mayweather often gives him little pointers, and Crawford pays close attention. He doesn't just listen, he applies it. Their relationship shows a deeper bond built on ambition, legacy, and understanding what it takes to be great in the fight game.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I don't even thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah?
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type.
Every new training video shows Crawford fully focused and serious. He's clearly not overlooking this fight. His stamina, technique, and movement are all being pushed to new heights. Every move he makes in camp is about preparing for the challenge of a bigger, stronger rival. The way he spars, drills, and trains shows a fighter who understands the moment. He's polishing every detail to be ready for whatever Canelo brings to the table. Mayweather sparked discussion when he mentioned Canelo's history with performance-enhancing drugs. He asked why the press hasn't criticized Canelo more, and hinted that some boxers are treated more softly than others. This drew mixed reactions. In the boxing world, some fans agreed about the double standards, while others thought Floyd was just stirring drama. Still, his remarks reopened old arguments about fairness and honesty in pro boxing.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Mayweather didn't just cheer for Crawford. He gave a detailed take on how to beat a fighter like Canelo. He looked back on his own fight with Canelo and stressed using smarts over brute force. He told Crawford to stay sharp and fight with clever timing and control. Floyd admitted it's not a simple task, but he's confident that Crawford has the ability to get it done.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, it was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 36, 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Rather than avoid criticism, Crawford meets it head-on. He knows people are worried about him moving up in weight and facing someone with Canelo's size and power, but he sees that as part of the mission, not something to fear. His confidence isn't about ego, it's about being prepared. He's entering this fight to prove something, not just compete, but to dominate and shut the doubts down completely.
That's a fight because of the challenge. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big, this and that. I can hear now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jermell and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah.
David Benavides has spoken strongly in Crawford's favor. He thinks a lot of fans are sleeping on what Crawford really brings to the fight. In Benavides' eyes, Crawford's skill level, mental focus, and inner toughness give him a real chance to pull off
The Ring magazine, which is owned by Turkey, reported that Canelo and Crawford have agreed to the September date and that it's essentially on. What is your I know this has been rumored and talked about, but now it seems like a done deal. What's your reaction to this?
It's a good fight. You know, it's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said like he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh wow, that high! I thought you were going to say like 25.
Well, I mean, no,
just because of the size.
Good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And you know, Crawford he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
Shocker Stevenson is also backing Crawford as the better fighter. He's openly praised Crawford's talents. Stevenson shut down the idea that Crawford is too small for this bout, saying people don't realize how strong and physically solid he actually is. Jeff Mayweather agrees Crawford has elite skills and sees him as a more complete fighter, but he still warns not to take Canelo lightly.
Yeah,
What do you say
but
about that?
I think skills pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get the 147, 154.
Yes, he's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it.
Yeah.
So like if you see him and
in person,
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying. I remember when he fought when they fought. Go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
No cap.
I did tell him after the Smith fight. I said, "Man, go get Canelo. You the greatest.
Yeah.
This era
for sure.
Yeah, it's no question.
No question. Yes.
Actually, back to the you and Terence working together. Because you've shared everything you've learned from him. There was fans doing their homework in the Avanesian fight and in the Spence fight, saying actually it looks like Terence may have taken a couple things from Shakur as well, not just Shakur taking things from Terence.
No, that's for sure.
Teddy Atlas has been clear that he thinks Crawford is too smart and too skilled for Canelo. Atlas says Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight and read his opponent gives him a big edge.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. As a tight him, he's saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it, and he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's gonna say, "Well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it." I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
Ariel Helwani made an interesting point. Canelo's recent performances show some signs of slowing down. He talked about Canelo's age and some doubts about how well he moves now. On the flip side, Crawford seems to handle the heavier weight comfortably.
Crawford switch hitter. He did all right in his first fight at 54, but now he'll get more comfortable as a bigger guy. You know, he's actually not that small, this, that, and the other. Yesterday on my program, I spoke to David Benavidez, and I asked him about this fight, and his response surprised me. Want to play this clip for you and get your response to David's answer. Here it is.
It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said like he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25
no,
just because of the size.
Good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time, and you know, Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time, so you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
Okay, so what do you make of that? What do you make of that response? I was a little surprised.
I need to clear up what he meant by 7 out of 10. Does he mean he's giving him a 70% chance to beat Canelo?
Yes.
Is that what it? Wow. That's,
yes.
I mean, who am I to disagree with Benavidez? Benavidez knows he's boxing, right? I mean, he might have shared the ring with both. I mean, with Terence Crawford. I mean, if anyone else was jumping up from 154 pounds to 168, not named Terence Crawford, I'd say this is crazy and they don't have a chance because they're fighting a guy that I still think is very, very good in Canelo. The reason I give Crawford a chance is because A, it's Terence Crawford and he's unbeaten, but B, I think Canelo's slipped just enough for me to think this is a real fight. This isn't Canelo that fought Golovkin second time round. I thought that was almost the best Canelo I've ever seen. It isn't that anymore. I've watched his last couple of fights. I've been lucky enough to have been at a few recent fights. The Bivol fight's taken something out of him. He doesn't throw punches and combinations. His feet have slowed just a little bit. And Crawford does throw combinations, and Crawford has really good feet.
The history between Floyd and Canelo makes this fight even bigger. Their 2013 match was one of boxing's most famous moments. Mayweather outclassed Canelo and gave him his only official defeat. At that time, Floyd was already a legend with many titles and an unbeaten record. Canelo was young, hyped up, and seen as the future of boxing. People thought it was a passing of the torch, but Floyd didn't plan on handing any.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so young.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was when he was
No, he was
prime,
in his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime, and you're only 23?
23.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I tried to beat him because, you know, beat him. If you beat him, you wanna be the best in the world at 23. So imagine that. But you know, he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter. So, but I learned a lot.
Let's talk about the only loss on your record at the moment. I mean, Floyd Mayweather Jr., it's not exactly a negative thing per se when you lose to someone who's known as one of the greatest of our time. Do you think that if you guys fought again, if you fought now and he was also in his prime, do you think the outcome would have been vastly different?
Definitely, it's gonna be different. No, because I'm more mature, more strong, with more experience. Definitely is gonna be different.
It's going to be different now because I'm more grown, stronger, and wiser. That's why it's going to be a new kind of fight. Crawford's training has focused hard on his jab. His sparring shows how he uses it to control distance, break rhythm, and find chances. He's trained with fighters copying Canelo's style, and Crawford switches stances to stay unpredictable.
Watch the right hand for the decoy.
Y'all know chess? Fisher versus Spassky? Two of the best, you understand? That's what you watch. Two of the best.
Yes. Nice. That's how Star work. You know how to work. You know how to get the most out of everything. Good job, Chad.
Amir Khan's opinion matters because he's faced both guys. He admits Canelo hits hard, but also says his defense has holes. According to Khan, Crawford's speed and defense make him tougher to hit. Khan thinks Crawford could annoy Canelo with slick movement and sharp counters, making life hard for a power puncher.
Canelo the beast, man. Canelo the beast. And you know, when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career there as well. So, whoever I was going to fight, I was going to give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But, yeah, I was boxing well. But you know, one thing, size, now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, you know. I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. It's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight. You know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, like, but Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight.
You think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, not people might say, oh, he's getting old and this and another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hearn says Dalton's level above Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably on the same level, but in my opinion, both guys don't fight each other just yet.
In Canelo's last fight, fans were uneasy about how passive he looked against Williams' skull. He barely threw punches, raising questions about his energy and drive. Moving up to face Canelo is clearly a risk for Crawford, the super middleweight. Class is filled with big, strong guys, and it's unclear if Crawford's power will rise with him. Still, his ring smarts, technique, and quick thinking could make the difference. This isn't just about size, it's about skill, and Crawford seems ready to prove he belongs with the best in any weight class.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.